Hello once again, everybody. We're here at the Farm Science Review and visiting with Steve Reinhard. Steve lives in just outside Bucyrus in Crawford County and is on, we want to talk about the United Soybean Board today, but we're here at the Soy Council on the grounds of Farm Science Review. Steve, first of all, let's talk a little bit about your operation back home at Bucyrus.
Sure. We got raised soybeans, corn, and alfalfa, and then malting barley, and we've had a pretty good year so far. Alfalfa's been really good to make good quality, and had a little bit of armyworm issues there, but barley came off in really good shape, and then getting ready for a good corn and bean harvest as well. Some of the early beans we had a little bit of water damage in, but as we continue to go on to some of the later maturing varieties, they sure look like a nice full field out there. So,
very good. Now, you also sit on the United Soybean Board, and I guess with everything that's been going on as far as what's happening with the national checkoff, that's why you've got a small smile on your face, because, my gosh, you talk about the checkoffs that have been very successful. The soybean checkoff is one of the best.
Sure. Every 5 years we have to measure our return to the farmer, and basically for every dollar that we're investing, we're getting about $12 back in return. So it's been a great marketing program, and we have a lot of new products coming out through the innovation side, especially with soybean oil right now. And USEC, the United Soybean Export Council, that we work with ASA on that organization, was able to get us into so many new markets when the tariff issues came up with China, that we were able to continue to move beans and get them around the world, whether it be whole, in meal, or in oil products. So it's just been a really good time for the soybean checkoff, and we continue to work hard to drive that investment and returns back to the farm.
And of course, that's good for the export market.
Yeah, it's been really good for the export market. We've seen China come back into the market this year so far pretty heavy, and that's been a big benefit as far as the export sides go.
Now, has been in the past a lot of competition for soybeans. Now, though, with the reputation of the soybean farmer from the United States, and that includes Ohio, I guess that's something that is beneficial for the continuation.
Well, it's been very beneficial, and that's one thing that the United Soybean Board, along with our state checkoff programs as well, has been trying to work on the sustainability aspect of American soy, and how we can justify, that we have a sustainable product, and that's one thing that we have in the United States, and we can sell and export that a lot of other countries can't do, and they can't make the claims. We spend years backing up the data, and we'll continue to do that as we go forward. We talk now about having more biodiesel, more bioheat products, heating oil and things like that, and the oil market just continues to be very hot, as well as the new uses. And that's one thing that really helped us. We even got beans into India and into the European Union, and you can't do that without having a good quality program to back up that sustainability claim.
I know, especially in Asia, a lot of the Asian population really demands that quality. In fact, there was a time when they would send ships back, or would not accept ships that arrived at their location.
Yeah, and that's another thing we've worked on with the American Soybean Association, USEC, and that export market, is trying to make sure that we maintain that quality that we're exporting, and working with those importers to make sure that we're looking at the same quality grade, and making sure that our beans meet their standards when they place that order.
Well, the United Soybean Board would also be listening to their state associations and that individual farmer, as a matter of fact, because the good ideas oftentimes come from maybe one or two guys that are just sitting around the coffee table talking about, hey, we ought to try this. Is that something that still goes on?
Yeah, we always have the brainstorming sessions, and and looking at how we can, we'll get together here in December and we kind of look at, what are the next big things we want to work on. And we have a display over here in the Ohio building with the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, and Goodyear now has several tire lines that have soybean oil, and their goal actually by 2040 is to be replacing petroleum in a lot of their products, and it has to be sustainably sourced, and they've committed to sustainably sourcing that soybean oil, which puts us in a great place to be the supplier. And then you have Skechers shoes, which have also licensed that same technology, and so now some of the tennis shoes and the other shoes you buy from Skechers can have that same technology in it. So we have Indiana working on a engine oil component, which is now available. We have Iowa working with asphalt, and we have soybean oil now going into the binding agent in asphalt. So, we can get in your truck and it can have foam-filled seats, and we have Goodyear tires which have soybean oil in them, and we can put biodiesel in the tank and pull out onto the road that's, made with soybean oil on the asphalt, and be pulling a trailer behind us with a bunch of pigs that have just been fed, quality soybean meals. So it's really a diverse product, and it's really been exciting to be a part of, some of these new innovations.
And a lot of that, in fact, probably the majority of that increase of growth is the result of the soy checkoff.
Yeah, a lot of it all goes back to the soy checkoff and the leaders that have come before us that have really, picked out the good projects and how to keep this program going. And it's just been a great, 25, 26 year run now for the soybean checkoff.
Well, Steve, if folks would like to get a little bit more information about the Ohio Soybean Council or the United Soybean Board, what's the best way for them to go about doing that?
You can go to soyohio.org. That's the Ohio Soybean Council website, and you can get more information there. Or you can go to United Soybean and .org, and that's the United Soybean Board. And you can get more information, or you can make comments back, and a good way to get things started.
Very good. Enjoyed the interview today. Thanks for being with us.
Yep, thanks, Gary.
And stay with us. We'll be back with more in Ohio Country today.
Harvest starts here with proper tillage from Great Plains, available at your local Apple Farm Service. Great Plains understands the true agronomic potential in every machine that comes off their line. Stop by your local Apple Farm Service to learn what Great Plains solutions we offer.
The new Ag Pack is here at St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your exclusive certified agriculture dealership. Ag Pack is a powerful package of farm and ranch discounts and incentives worth thousands of dollars, absolutely free. Stop by and see Dave Hager, your ag commercial specialist, and ask about the vehicles, discounts, and incentives in the new Ag Pack.
You get straight talk, real service, and the right price. St. Mary's Chrysler, you get straight talk.
Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Dye Real Estate and Land Company specializes in farmland and recreational land throughout Ohio. A company for people who enjoy the rural lifestyle and looking to buy or sell their land. All of our land agents are members of the Realtors Land Institute and have extensive experience in farming and agricultural land business. At Dye Real Estate and Land Company, we'll work with you to tailor-fit a plan that works best for you, your family, and your investments. Our services include 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, land brokerage, land auctions, and CMAs and valuations for estates and planning. We are Dye Real Estate and Land Company. Call us today and visit our website at dyerealestate.com. Dye Real Estate and Land Company. We know the land business because we live it every day.
It's a humble idea. Use a biological process to turn a plant into a power source. From that idea came the first Poet refinery. One biorefinery in one town turned into 27 facilities in 27 towns, creating new local jobs, producing hundreds of millions of gallons of ethanol, and providing renewable products around the world. Suddenly, that one little idea seems a whole lot bigger. See the world differently with Poet.
Alan Davis, business owner, active farmer. No one knows farmers' needs better than Alan. Give him a call today at 419-738-7447 and talk about total farm protection and more. Alan Davis Insurance Agency is your solutions provider for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection and more. Call 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447.
Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting with Dusty Sonnenberg here at the Ohio Farm Science Review. Dusty, we've had a chance to meet in the past and do things together, mostly promoting agriculture.
Yes, sir.
And
Definitely.
with the Ohio, don't call me sir. Just anyway, let's talk a little bit about what your responsibilities are, talking and promoting soy here at Farm Science Review. Something sort of new.
Absolutely. So my title is Ohio Field Leader, so it's with the Ohio Soybean Council and the Soybean Checkoff program. And what the Field Leader program is it's a project to get information out to farmers, whether it's about new research in soybean production and the agronomics. It might deal with product development and how soy is being used in those products. It might be dealing with things with the environment, whether it be water quality, climate change, all those types of things. But taking and packaging the information that farmers' soybean checkoff dollars are helping generate, whether it's through research or Ohio State or other factors, and put that in a form that we can communicate to the farmer members all across the state, as well as non-farmers, about the good work that's being done in agriculture, whether it's to help farmers increase their yields, better protect the environment, be more sustainable, whether it's environmentally or economically. All those aspects are wrapped into the Field Leader program.
It sounds like it's doing double duty. I mean, for the efforts that you're doing and the folks working with you that are doing, getting the information out to all segments. And that has to be pleasing in the fact that talking with a non-farmer oftentimes can help agriculture in the long run.
Absolutely. As you well know, Gary, that we've got so many neat things going on in this industry to talk about, and there's really obviously a growing disconnect between the general public and production agriculture, and oftentimes it's just a matter of not having that information and not being aware. And once the general public realizes some of the things that are going on in the industry, especially the new innovative projects, they really get interested and excited about it, and it's neat to see that excitement.
Well, lack of knowledge and failure go hand in hand a lot. So by providing that information, you're providing a success for not only the farmer, but enhancing what that consumer might be able to have too.
I think you're right. The Ohio Soybean Council and all the members, whether they're farmer members that are part of it through the checkoff dollars or their board members, really have made a concerted effort to try and communicate not only with other farmers but the public about all the challenges that exist and the ways they're stepping up to make a positive difference in the industry and for the American people.
Now, is some things that you do, is it teaching, as far as teaching other farmers? What's the best way to get that information out to their neighbors and that are possibly members, and also their neighbors that might be living in the city?
Sure. As far as the field leader role that I have, we do it through a website, we do it through print media, and most recently we've started doing it through a couple podcasts and trying to reach just the different audiences through multimedia sources. Again, as you all know, with the pandemic, we had that really cut down a lot of the face-to-face interactions we can have with fellow farmers and obviously with the general public. So trying to find those electronic means and otherwise to still communicate that message in an effective way. And sources like this TV program.
In addition to folks like you, Dusty, are there other people that or other resources that people can go to get this information?
Absolutely. Well, I would encourage folks to start off on the web, whether it's soyohio.org. That's the homepage for the Ohio Soybean Association. They can find great information about all the programs going on, including a lot of good information about the new carbon banking options and climate change and carbon sequestration. Another one that I work with quite a bit is the Ohio Field Leader website, and that is a product of the Ohio Soybean Council and Checkoff. Primarily, that's where we put out the agronomic information, new innovative crop production type techniques, environmental information, things dealing with water quality. So two good websites there, and of course both those will direct you to all the other resources we have through OSU Extension and the great folks that partner with Ohio soybean farmers every day.
Okay, quite a lot of information there, and hopefully you folks can go to those websites to find out more. Dusty, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us.
Gary, good to see you again.
And stay with us, back with more in Ohio Country today.
Rodock and Midway Trailers are Ohio's premier Thunder Creek dealers for fuel trailers and DEF delivery systems. Thunder Creek offers versatile, reliable, and best of all, legal transportation and handling for fuel and DEF systems. Let us know how our teams at Midway Trailers in Rodock can get you set up and ready any time of the year. For fuel and service trailers, economy trailers, service and lube trailers, double wall trailers, split tank trailers, bulk DEF trailers, and standalone DEF systems for trucks. Remember Rodock and Midway Trailers, Ohio's premier Thunder Creek dealer, with 3 locations to serve you in Delphus, St. Mary's, and Dayton.
Accurate, dependable, and easy to understand. That's been Great Plains' philosophy on drills since their origins in 1976. Whether you need the small 5-foot drill for your food plot or the massive 50-foot drill for record-setting planting, Great Plains has every size and type of drill you need.
Our farm department is committed to providing ag professionals the products, coverages, and peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. With our home office located in the heart of farm country, many of us have first-hand experience when it comes to farming, and we know how to take out the risk. Under one policy, we can provide total protection of your investment, from your home and barns to your equipment and livestock. We also provide an outstanding equine coverage, from a homeowner with a single horse to a professional breeder and everything in between. Come join us and experience the Salina difference.
Hello once again, everyone. We're visiting with Chris Henny. He's the president and CEO of the Ohio Agribusiness Association. Chris, we're here at Farm Science Review, the opening ceremonies. How does the OABA tie together with Farm Science Review?
Well, Gary, we have had a long partnership with our member companies, those companies supplying and servicing Ohio's farmers. They exhibit here. But beyond that, the Ohio Agribusiness Association itself, we do a couple of things. We partner with their career fair that they have here on the grounds. We also support our members here and others, the exhibitors, through an exhibitor luncheon that we co-host. We're hosting a Women Leading in Ohio Agribusiness Association event. So a lot of things. And of course, it's just nice to be out and visit with people and see people, especially after not being able to be here last year.
I'm sure that being a varied kind of organization, you have companies that have had a lot of challenges in the year. How have you helped them to, get to where we are today?
Well, of course, early in this pandemic, a lot of the companies weren't sure about how the various health orders would affect them. And so we worked with the General Assembly and the DeWine administration to work through that. We were very happy to have agriculture deemed an essential business, an essential industry for our companies and farmers to do business. That was really important. Beyond that, we just continue to offer educational opportunities, and we advocate on behalf of our member companies.
Talk to us a little bit about Golf for Scholarships. That's something that you can do outside, and COVID doesn't have to really have that much of an impact.
Yeah, we raise quite a bit of money for college scholarships every single year. In fact, we provide about $45,000 a year in college scholarships. We fundraise through 2 golf outings and a sporting clays event. And so that was wonderful to be able to have those events, see people safely interact and raise money for a good cause.
Well, what's on the calendar for the rest of the year?
Well, as you well know, we're going into harvest, right? And so things slowed down a little bit for us as our companies and farmers really gear up for the fall harvest. But we are planning for our winter events and getting ready for our industry conference and other things this coming winter.
Well, Chris, the last time that we had a chance to speak on the air, it was the conference, your annual conference of 2019. What can we expect this year?
Well, we're looking forward to being back in person. Last year we did a virtual conference, as a lot of organizations did. So we're going to be back in person with the same type of great content, really interesting stuff that's new in the industry, new research findings, and the most important to our member companies is networking. Be able to come together, visit, talk to suppliers, talk to customers, and just reconnect. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be in January of 2022.
Chris Henny, our guest, the CEO of the Ohio Agribusiness Association. Chris, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Gary.
And stay with us, back with more right after this.
Pushita Creek Steaks, naturally delicious, antibiotic and hormone-free, from fresh grass and grain-fed, free-to-roam cattle. Pushita Creek is a family-owned and operated 210-acre free-range ranch right here in Ohio. And we take the time to custom-fit your order to exactly what you want. For steaks, roasts, hamburger, pet treats, gifts, freezer boxes, and much more, check us out on the web at PushitaCreekSteaks.com. That's PushitaCreekSteaks.com.
Our farm department is committed to providing ag professionals the products, coverages, and peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. With our home office located in the heart of farm country, many of us have first-hand experience when it comes to farming, and we know how to take out the risk. Under one policy, we can provide total protection of your investment, from your home and barns to your equipment and livestock. We also provide an outstanding equine coverage, from a homeowner with a single horse to a professional breeder and everything in between. Come join us and experience the Salina difference.
It's the Apple Farm Service Winter Fix Special. Free pickup and delivery for the first 30 miles. 10% off on installed parts. And an extra 6-month warranty on any C&H installed parts. Call before December 31st for the Apple Farm Service Winter Fix Special.
Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting with Bob Peterson. Bob is a senator in the Ohio legislature. And Bob, more importantly, you say that you're a farmer.
I am a farmer, not too far from here, down in Fayette County. Lived my whole life on the farm, and that's who I am. But I also have a great position representing about 360,000 people in the Ohio legislature as a state senator.
Very good. Now, one of the things that we want to talk about here at the Farm Science Review, we just heard Governor DeWine visit with a group here about some of the things that he has proposed in his budget that was passed and how important it was for farmers. How important was that for you?
Well, it was a great budget for agriculture in Ohio. Certainly continued funding for H2 Ohio and expanded it. That allowed them to expand, from the original counties on the Western Lake Erie watershed into some extra counties, which is good, to take some of those practices that help keep the nutrients tied to the soil, expand that into some other counties, and that cost share program, encouraging farmers to do what we want to do anyway. No farmer wants the fertilizer or nutrients that they apply to the soil to leave that soil and not be there when the crop needs it. So it's been a great thing. And of course, we had funding for OSU and for Department of Agriculture to do more research and do the things that they do to protect agriculture.
A lot of times it's about the bottom line, and some people don't seem to understand that.
It's always about the bottom line. You don't get to farm if you don't make money.
One of the things that was discussed this morning was broadband, and the necessity of that, not just for people that live in cities and because they're going to school, but that farmer also needs that in the country.
Sure. You got to have access to the world, and that's what the internet does. And the technology, we're here at the Farm Science Review today, and while it's a rainy day today, the technology that's in these combines, tractors, and all the equipment they use is so important. And so to have access to that throughout rural Ohio helps open the world up to us.
It's a lot about education, and the fact that I used to visit with Bobby Mosier and say, Bobby, I don't think either one of us could get into the school today because of the kids keep getting a little bit more educated all the time, but broadband helps that.
Absolutely. The ability, especially as we came through the pandemic and a lot of the schooling was happening at home, the broadband was so critically important. And so we tremendously expanded broadband. It still won't be enough because the standard keeps moving. You need faster speeds and more of it. But we've made substantial progress, and we'll continue to do that.
Well, let me ask you one question that I've thought about, and I've had discussions with folks, listeners, and viewers over the years. There's a divide sometimes between that rural resident and someone that lives in the city about what is farming all about, what do farmers need. My gosh, those machines cost so much money. They must be rich, hand over fist and everything. But there's a lot of things that that city person needs to understand. And you, as a senator from the farm, is it easy to talk with your city colleagues?
I think it is easy. I think we need to be prepared to tell our story. Every other legislature from the city or maybe from rural Ohio, they're intrigued by what, these giant combines or these giant tractors, or even how does a pumpkin grow? And when you talk to them, they're intrigued by that, and they're excited to learn. And we in agriculture have become much better. Of course, you guys do this every day, but we become much better at telling our story and telling why we do things, why nutrients are important, why we spray crop protection chemicals, and why we can't feed the world if we don't do those things. And it's a compelling message, and we win the argument when we share good information. And that's what we should do, and it's fun to do.
Very good. Bob Peterson, our guest, state senator from Washington Courthouse. Bob, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Have a great day.
And stay with us. Back with more right after this.
Alan Davis, business owner, active farmer. No one knows farmers' needs better than Alan. Give him a call today at 419-738-7447 and talk about total farm protection and more. Alan Davis Insurance Agency is your solutions provider for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection and more. Call 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447. It's the Apple Farm Service Winter Fix Special. Free pickup and delivery for the first 30 miles. 10% off on installed parts. And an extra 6-month warranty on any C&H installed parts. Call before December 31st for the Apple Farm Service Winter Fix Special.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. For more information, as always, you can check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. We have a Facebook account. We also have a YouTube channel and more. And as I mentioned, check us out on inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.